BKK1.
Ain't no stopping us now. Car wash,
It was the feeling now.
car wash, yeah.
Now go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. 'Cause you're not welcome anymore.
BKK1.
It definitely is. And of course, you're welcome down here in Pattaya, Thailand. Dave D in the studio. And my man opposite me, of course, Mr. Alex Van Dam, all the way from Bangkok. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm absolutely ecstatic now I've seen you, your little smiling face and your chubby cheeks. How are you, sir?
Oh, good, oh, good. I always have a good laugh every time I'm with you, I tell you.
It's nice to see you down here in the studio. It's nice to have you in here. And as you can see, the lighting is, I would say, a little bit romantic.
It is romantic, yes. You could put it. We just need to put a couple of candles and all that, and we're good to go.
Good, good. It's nice to see you here anyway. Now,
Likewise.
AX Media up in Bangkok. I was there last week, getting busier than ever. Give us an update of what's happening up there.
Well, basically, we already finished with Emporium, so everything's at the new office at the moment
So you were in Emporium, which was, where was that situated?
on Sukhumvit.
On Sukhumvit Road, and that was down near Terminal 21, is that right?
Emporium, actually.
Yeah,
It's-
Emporium. Yeah, I know it was the Emporium building, but it was near.
It's
the-
one station away.
One station away from the 21. All right, that on the BTS, yes?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right? Okay, and now you've moved down to,
Saturn.
which is, I've been down there and we've sort of gone from a little bit of, I can say the office was nice before. It was quaint, it was compact, and it was like being in a fridge. But now the big office down at Saturn, floor 12, and about 4 sizes bigger, open space. Love it, yeah?
That's right. Loving it very much. And everyone's happier there. We got a studio there. Plus, it's our own private office, so basically we can do what we want. Great location. Plus, we got a very good gym of Encore, which is just 3 floors
Upstairs?
above
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. So very convenient. Great bunch of people also. Great gym, great everything, So since I moved into the new office, of course, I've lost some more weight. It's convenient to go exercise there. They have a wide range of exercises you can choose from. No problem.
Good. I mean, I've been over to Bangkok, a few times and stayed over there now and stayed for a few days. Never like going over for a day because I think it's a waste of time. You travel up in a taxi, you get out of the taxi, you sail and you go back home. Waste of time. You got to go up there for a few days. Also been down to the new office. Like it, love it. Feels nice, feels homely. The guys and girls in there are getting down to their work now. And of course, AX Media is only going up. I mean, you're getting more jobs on board and more people are beginning to recognize you, yeah?
That's right.
I mean, what do you see happening? Like, you moved in there and now you're getting your feet on the ground and beginning to get into some routine. All this takes time, money and effort, of course. We all know that it does. But it's beginning to pull together, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I mean, where do you see it going?
This year we're just more or less getting settled into the new location. I'm gonna start selling the studio. So once we get the studio shoots,
What are you going to be doing in the studio? You say you get the studio up and running, but I mean, what's going to happen in the studio? Is it just
product
videos?
shoots, model shoots,
Right.
individual shoots, or we're like one of the only studios on Saturn Road, anyways.
Right.
So in this case, if people want to come for studio photography, whatever, we're in the right location.
Right.
And right on the main road of Saturn anyways. So basically going forward, we're going to build the studio up, and especially we got a lot of events coming up as well. I mean, we got the Middle East in November and December. We're looking to put small operations in the Middle East as well out of Dubai, which we're planning right now, but we expect to have that done I would say sometimes in 25.
Okay, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with expansion. Never, of course. We've all got to have a go at it. And you never know. I mean, let me put it this way. I mean, I'm sure you're going to agree with what I say, and that is that, business is a gamble, but you can edge your bets with what you do. We all make bad decisions along the way.
Oh.
I mean, we've all done that.
100%.
And it's a gamble, and of course, it's a numbers game, and that is, be it with sales, be it with production, be it with whatever. we get there in the end, we fine tune it and we get there. And I think that's where your goal is at the moment, yeah?
Yes, sir. Because, when you're doing business, it's like a game of roulette. It's like you're putting a ball in whatever number, and then you see where you're going to take your company off to.
Sure.
I mean, business is gamble. I mean, you have to take risk in business because, there's a thing called risk and reward.
Sure.
So either you take the risk, things won't go that way, or you go the other way, you get rewarded. So you have to put it this way.
My dad said if you sit on your arse, you'll get nothing.
Correct.
So you've got to get out there and you've got to go. And of course, when it comes to sales, you've got to knock on the door. You've got to knock on the door. You've got to keep knocking on them doors. And you've got to keep... The thing is with AX Media is at the moment, you're not shouting loud enough at the moment, and there's not enough people hearing what we're saying. And of course, that's our goal. Our goal is to shout more, which we're working on. Our goal is to get it out there to more people to say, hey, well, this is what AX Media can do. We give you the full package from start to finish, the video, the photos, the everything. We can give you everything, the websites, the lot, and give you a full package of production and exposure in media and the whole thing that goes with it. Now, I can see your sort of thinking when it comes to the travel side, which you've opened AX Media...
AX Travel Guide.
AX Travel Guide, which is going to be the new website that's coming out.
Yes.
And also you've got the Facebook at the moment.
And Instagram.
And Instagram. I can see that because I know you the way I do now. That is more of a passion, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that's your passion. I know that you... I mean, what you don't know about planes is what I don't know about music. So it's as simple as that. I mean, everybody's got their field. I come out of an airport with you. You see 2 inches of the tip of an aeroplane and tell me all about it. I find that phenomenal. With the travel side of it, just going away from the other side for a minute, with the travel side of it, I mean, you do travel anyway. We travel anyway. We all travel to different shows to meet people, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I think that we could probably along the way incorporate into the travel side of it, the travel experience. Wouldn't you agree?
Agree.
I mean, is that where you want to see it going?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, what do you see the foreseeable future of the travel site? What would you like to give people? Would you like to see them timetables? What would you like to see?
Different places that we go to because we like to share our experience because, of course I have a travel experience, fortunately, with the family, And what's interesting, I was saying to the mother the other day that I was going to come up with this travel. I mean, she loves all this high, we call it chic travel.
Right.
When you call it chic, chic is more like towards the high end, all the luxury stuff and
But
things.
That's only a small percentage, Alex.
It's a very small percentage, but I try to make it more like a midstream to high stream, so something in between. Because then, actually, what's also good is if you do everything online, you build the traffic, and then people from it doesn't matter. It could be low range or high range or medium range. They can see what all the travel stuff.
I think if you come up with a good recipe where you can get the guy that's got $10 in his pocket and he can get from Phuket to Pattaya is great, and also you've got the guy that's got 20 grand in his pocket and can get from Phuket to Pattaya. I think it's a good comparison, and it shows people both end of the scales because then you're catering for everybody.
That's right, because then people can see in terms of budget, budget travel and all these things.
Explain something to me. You're a plane man. You know all about planes. You know everything there is to know about planes, down to nuts and bolts and things like that.
Yep.
What I want to understand is this, and I think I know the answer, but I want it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, from you, the expert. And that is, what is the cause of the aeroplane flight price tickets? The tickets prices at the moment in flights to get to Thailand from many places in the world have trebled, more than trebled in some cases. What has caused that? Is there just a one issue or is it many issues?
Something to do with the oil price.
Is that it? Just down to that and that's it?
It's mostly down to it because, the oil price I checked, I think it was like $80 a barrel, but I remember back a couple months ago was more than $100 a barrel.
Right.
So of course, the airlines have to charge higher surcharges for most of it's onto fuel as well. Mm-hmm. But if you look at airlines in the Middle East, of course they're not going to charge crazy amount of prices because of course the Middle East has their own oil reserves. Mm-hmm. So with that, they're not going to charge crazy prices at all. But if you look at airlines, especially from Europe, because with Russia, they cut off the oil supply. So oil supply is very limited in Europe.
Right.
So of course the Europeans would charge higher prices. But if you look at places like, Iran, or you look at UAE or Saudi Arabia and all those guys,
Where they've got all their own oil.
they get their own oil. So
Well, they can come out with a new one, Fly for a Fiver.
Exactly.
We like that one.
Oh yeah, five. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. In Asia is a different case also,
Yeah.
because in Asia actually it's not as expensive as you think, because if you let's say you fly from here to Hong Kong, it all depends on the season to start with.
Right, yep.
And also don't forget, it's the Golden Week coming up next week. In China it's the 1 week holiday.
Right.
October the 1st is China National Day. So of course the price tickets, when it comes to that moment, the prices are going to go up. That's something.
What about this then? It is something that I learned a few years ago, and that is this, okay? If you are, for example, in the UK,
Yep.
and you are looking on Google, and you're on Google, and you're looking on Google, and you're using the Google in England for looking for your flight tickets, you can find, let's just say you found a ticket for £700, say,
Yep.
and for that flight.
Yep.
If you change your Google to America, which you can do, which you change it to America, then put in the same flight, it works out cheaper.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I never used it.
I have a friend that says he does that. Yeah, I don't know if it's true. Maybe people can in the comments can tell us all about that, because the way I understand it is this, and you probably agree or disagree, that there's more seats available in bulk buy in America than there is in the UK, because it's a much bigger place. So they buy up like 10 rows of seats, and then they sell them for whatever they sell them for. Yeah, and sometimes you can get these deals on the same flights for, there's stuff in the past that we've done on the news where one guy's sitting in E9, for example, and one guy's sitting in E8, and they're talking, and he says, I paid £1,200 for my seat, and the other guy goes, well, I paid £650 for my seat. And it's because of this, this search engine thing. It knows where you are, and it knows that you've got a lot of money or you haven't got a lot of money, so the prices for the seats can accordingly be tailored to where you are. Would you agree on that or not?
It's interesting you said that, because let's say we fly first class, for example.
Yeah.
Like on the next trip, when I go to the Middle East, and actually the next number of trips to Middle East, because Emirates I get points with Skyward, so
Right.
I try to purchase as much first class tickets as I can.
Right.
You can have a situation where you're buying a first class ticket. Let's say you pay £3,000,
Right.
or you fly from. You can fly from here to Europe. Let's say you pay.
1,000?
No, let's say you pay £6,000. Okay.
Okay.
So you go this way is paying £6,000. But if
This
you're
is
coming
first
back,
class,
this
first
first
class.
class, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're coming back from the UK to here, you're paying double.
Wow.
You're paying double the price
because you're coming from the UK.
because you're coming from the UK.
And in the UK, you've got more money than you have in Asia.
That's right.
So that's where I'm saying, that's where the price difference comes in.
Yes.
If you live in Asia,
Yeah.
then you will get different prices to people that are living in the UK.
That's
and
right.
you will get different prices to people that live in America.
That's right.
And I believe what he said, I believe there's some truth in that, because the economic situation in different countries, gives you different prices to seats.
It does, because also what's interesting is now, especially the Thai baht is getting stronger. So when you see the Thai baht getting stronger, then the numbers are, when you convert it back to pound sterling or US dollar, it's there's some ways it might be a bit more expensive in that currency, but it's still cheaper than when you're flying from the UK or from the US.
Question
or one
for
of
you.
these things.
Question. I mean, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm going to ask you straight out. Do you buy all your tickets in dollars?
No, from here I pay in Thai baht.
Right, okay, because he did tell me that paying in dollars makes it cheaper again.
It does.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just, because the thing is at the moment, of course, we use Wise.
Yes.
I use Wise, and a lot of people I know that, I did a transaction yesterday for a person. Yep, it was £200 from the UK over to here. Yeah, and into the bank account. Job done. Yeah.
Yep.
That took 7.5 seconds.
Amazing.
7.5 seconds to do everything. Yeah, it was crazy. Press a button, done. We're done. It was just that easy. Now, of course, having a Wise account, you get a UK address and you get your UK bank account. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can choose when you are on Wise that you can change to pounds or dollars or whatever, can't you?
Yep.
So you can choose to pay in dollars if you want to on the exchange rate. So there is ways of paying for your tickets in dollars, yeah?
Yes, right.
So I think somewhere along the line with the dollars, with America and with the exchange rates, you could save yourself a little bit of money. And I'm sure there's guys out there, you know, we probably don't do this. We just say, I'll have a ticket. But I'm sure there's guys out there that analyze everything and, you know, they'll start off at £1,000 and by the time they've done all their keyboard stuff, they're down to like £5. And I just love to do a show on that. I just think that's perfect. You know, that just by fine tuning, just by clicking that other button, it does that for you. Don't you find that astonishing? Then
It can make a big difference, but the thing is that how do you call it's all because exchange rates change every day.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget a month ago or 2 months ago we were at 37 baht to the dollar.
Where now? 30, 34?
Now it's down to 32.6, I think.
32.6. And gold's going through the roof.
Oh, it's like 20. I think it was $2,700 now the price of gold.
I can remember when I came here, I think it was like 6,000 baht a baht.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came here.
It went up to 42 now.
42. 42. You can see why the Thais buy gold. You know, you can see why they buy gold.
It's a good investment. I mean, the gold
was.
It could go up to 50,000, 60,000. Who knows? I'm just predicting. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, gold is it's an asset that can go up or down. It's just like every
Has a lot of value.
stock. I mean, it's I just think that there is ways. You know, I mean, one of the things that people say to me when I talk to people online, or I'm not on podcast or radio or anything, and I'm just talking to people, is basically in general, Alex, I get the feedback that there's not the amount of people in Thailand that there was. You know, COVID came along, kicked us all in the balls, cost us all a load of money. We couldn't get anything done. And then from that, we have to pull ourselves back together. Some people had money to carry on. Of course they did. Some people didn't. But, you know, a lot of people have had to pull their trousers back up and start from scratch again. Do you think that the COVID thing contributed to the people not being here now?
Yes.
In what way would you say?
You know, it's interesting because don't forget when we early 2020 until let's say sometimes in 2022, things are completely different. I mean, back then, a lot of businesses had to close, especially in the tourism sector, especially in the F&B sector, the restaurants and all that. I mean, they were still operating. I mean, the people who were doing very, very well in the COVID times was Food Panda, Grab, Robinhood, you name it. Those ride delivery apps, whatever you call it. They were the ones who were doing really well because, nobody was going out. But then, you wanted to order food, you need to order something. So these guys were busy like nonstop, It was...
home deliveries, I mean, Amazon and all those kind of people went through the roof.
Oh, they did.
They went through the roof. I mean, today, the problem is as well, I would say COVID, I know this is probably sounding a little bit strange, but in some ways, COVID made us lazy for what we're doing now.
Exactly.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. Because, people are not, I mean, you're going to be in a situation where you don't even want to go out.
Yeah.
But then you're just going to go on your phone and say, okay, I'm going to order this thing, I'm going to order this thing, I'm going to order this thing. They just delivered to my house within half an hour. It's getting to that stage, the stage where a lot of people not wanting to go out. It's like, I can't be bothered to go out, but, what can I have for dinner tonight? I can go to this restaurant. Oh, yeah, I can order this. I can order that.
But nine, sort of like, let's say 8 times out of 10, it's cheaper here to order something from outside and bring it in and buy everything. You can cook it in and out and do everything yourself.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it's probably half the price.
Easy.
So I can see that. But I think that the online shopping side of it, of course, exploded.
It did.
Everybody got on board.
Yep.
There was everybody, his man and his dog selling everything. But it made us lazy. And I think the society today is going to get lazier.
Of course. I mean, give it another few years, it's going to get even more lazier. I mean, now you just within a touch. I mean, now it's already starting within a touch of a button. You order everything. I mean, you don't. I mean, shops will get less and less and less foot traffic, but people will be ordering on their phones to that location. So basically, they're still making business, but it's just less foot traffic.
There's an interesting article I read the other day. Prior to COVID, the average advert time on YouTube, was 10 to 12 seconds.
Yeah.
The average time, The average time now, Alex, is 20 to 22 seconds.
It's gone up.
It's gone up, and if you look on most of them now, that it's doubled the amount of adverts that they're showing in things now, and it pisses you off really, because you're trying to watch something, and there's an advert. Oh, if you don't want to watch adverts, guys, pay $500 a month, and you won't see adverts. Why should we pay not to see adverts?
Yeah, but the thing is, even though I put $500 a month, I still get adverts.
There you go. So you've done that.
It makes no difference.
See, I won't do it just out of principle. No frigging way am I doing that. But it's so annoying. And to be honest, with me, I'm looking at alternative things to look at.
That's right.
I'm fine, because there's other places and besides YouTube where you can watch stuff. You know, there's loads of places. But, you know, it's 80% of it is crap.
Agree.
It's crap. I mean, you know, it's crap. I mean, it's kids messing about, doing stuff, and they've got 35 million views on Smashing Two Lemons. I mean, it don't make sense to me, but it's rubbish. And it's the stuff that, like, my kids watch. You know, I have to say, don't watch that. Don't watch it. It's rubbish. You know, just try and watch a film, or try and do something useful, or watch some maths or something like that. But the problem is, with the kids, if you don't put the age restriction on the kids on YouTube, the adverts that pop in, you know, they're bad for them, you know. And I just think that somewhere along the line, it's going to become half content, half adverts.
That's very much likely to happen, because most of the time when I watch the first part of a video of YouTube, the first thing that you don't watch the video immediately.
No.
It's always the ad that comes first.
Yep, sure.
And
yeah,
then once
now it does.
Yeah. And then sometimes when let's say you're watching certain videos, like, you know, you're watching like a 10-minute thing or 10-minute content on YouTube. Every so often, you know, when you look on the YouTube thing and you have like this yellow, sometimes you have this yellow line.
Yeah, it tells you where it's coming, yeah.
That's where the ad comes in.
Yeah, sure.
But you know what I do is I fast forward to past that thing just to avoid the ad.
And does it stop playing the ad if you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it never plays the ad.
Right,
I skip it. I usually fast forward. That's what I usually. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do.
I mean, it's just one big. It's, you know, YouTube at the moment now is just one big pool of a mess that's just making a lot of money for quite a few people. And I mean, we're on it. We'll be on it, and we just like talking, and that's it. I like stuff like what we do, and don't get me wrong, on YouTube there's some fantastic stuff, brilliant stuff. But, you know, it's the ads that are killing. In my eyes, it's the ads that's killing the viewing of it.
That's why you lose traffic, you lose views. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people put up with it, but I mean, personally, you know, I'm old now, so I don't put up with it. I mean, you know, when it comes to TV, I mean, you know, we've spoke about like AX Media being on TV and doing documentaries and wine and dines and all these kind of things that we do and get involved in. I used to believe in TV tremendously, and radio tremendously. And then, of course, along came your YouTubes and along came your TikToks and your Instagrams, which are now just kicking the pants out of everything.
That's right.
You know, the viewing figures on the TV, you might get 10,000 in Bangkok watching a program that night, or 20 or 50,000. Push of a button, you got 250,000 watching your TikTok. I mean, it's mind-boggling, isn't it?
You know what's interesting? I mean, you think about it 10 years ago. I mean, what's interesting about TikTok is they created some TikTok superstars. And I remember I was at an event last March. It was for Aston Martin. And I think it was the brand ambassador or spokesperson for that night was PP Crit.
Right.
And PP Crit is a TikToker. And you think about it, 10 years ago, that didn't exist.
No.
And now all of a sudden, you know, you create this platform TikTok, you create this platform Instagram, you create this thing YouTube. Man, my God, you're creating superstars out of these things, you know?
It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. But just think about this, right, Alex? 63 yesterday, me, getting an old guy, right?
You're not that old, come on.
Back in the day, now, somebody asked me this the other day. My son is in the next room now, right?
Yep.
He's playing online.
Yep.
And he's probably earning some money from playing online with his friends.
Correct.
Whatever he's doing, okay?
Yep.
Right? Would you, or would I, taking me back to when I used to play, you remember the ping pong from side to side?
Yep.
You know, and the Space Invaders and Pac-Man?
Yep.
Would I have played that all the time if I knew I could get paid for it? The answer is yes.
Oh, definitely.
So are we any different?
No.
No, we're just in the age gap. It's just a generation, and it's just the way of the world, and it's just the way we're moving forward now. It's like, if you know, at the moment they're working on the drone system where it delivers the packages to your homes.
Yep.
Yeah, to cut out the grabs, the lines, the people on the roads and the bikes and all that. All this is a good thing, but, and it's like Elon Musk says, you know, he spoke about it the other day, we're not too far away from robots doing everything in the factories and all this, yeah? Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because they're learning in all the time. These AI things are learning all the time. Every time you go on your phone and make a phone call, every time you send a message online, every time you do something on your phone or your computer or your TV or whatever, what you're doing is you're feeding it information. You're giving it information. So is it a good thing? Because at the end of the day, more and more and more people are not going to have jobs.
That's what I was going to say. People are going to lose jobs. So I wouldn't say it's a good thing.
The thing that I went into a discussion about with somebody is this. It's okay, the AI guy doing this or whatever it does, but you can't do this, what me and you are doing.
No.
You know, we have feelings to each other as friends. We talk together as friends about different things, and we have things in common and not common, and we can argue and we can yak and we do whatever we want. That's us, because we are human.
That's right.
And that's what AI will never have.
Nope. They have no feelings.
There we go. There we go. Listen, Alex, it's been absolutely great to get you in the studio today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming down from Bangkok, yeah?
Thank you.
Great to have you in here. And like I said, you know, welcome anytime, all right?
Thank you.
There we go.
And good night, everybody. Stay classy.
Good.
KK1.
Ain't no stopping us now. Car wash,
Get with the feeling now.
car wash, yeah.
Walk now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore.
BKK1.